She didn't even look at me when she slid the Christmas tickets back across the marble kitchen island, her lips curling into a quiet, almost amused smile. Change them. That was it. No explanation. No gratitud. No hesitation. Just two words that somehow made the entire room feel smaller than it was. I stood there, still holding the envelope I'd spent 3 weeks planning around, wondering if I had just misunderstood the moment completely. Because this wasn't just a trip. This was the trip. The one I thought would finally fix things between us. My name is Carter Whitfield, and at the time, I believed that love was something you could repair with the right gesture at the right moment. I was wrong. We lived in Greenwich, Connecticut, a place where appearances mattered more than most people would ever admit out loud. Our house sat at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac lined with manicured hedges and identical black iron mailboxes. It looked perfect from the outside. Inside, it had started to feel like something was slowly unraveling. Sloan Harrington and I had been together for almost 3 years. Long enough to build routines. Long enough to stop asking certain questions. Long enough to start assuming things we never actually said. She came from money. Real money. Her father owned multiple commercial properties across New York and Connecticut. Her mother chaired charity boards and hosted dinners where everyone spoke in measured tones and subtle judgments. I built everything I had from scratch. Consulting, long hours, relentless schedules. I thought she respected that. I thought she admired it. But somewhere along the way, admiration turned into something quieter, something colder, and I didn't notice when it happened. The tickets were for Aspen, Colorado. Private chalet, ski bus, reservations at places you needed to book months in advance. I had arranged everything around her preferences, her favorite restaurants, her preferred flight times, even the specific suite layout she once mentioned in passing. I wanted it to feel effortless for her, like she didn't have to think, like she could just enjoy being with me again. But when she pushed the tickets back, it wasn't confusion in her eyes. It was certainty. "You booked Aspen?" she asked casually, finally meeting my gaze. "Yes." She allowed a soft laugh. Not loud, not mocking, just enough to feel dismissive. "Carter, we talked about this." We hadn't. At least, not in a way that felt like a decision. I started. "That's the problem." She cut in, her tone still calm. "You thought." There it was. Not anger, not frustration, disappointment. And somehow that felt worse. "Before we go any further, tell me this. If you planned something meaningful for someone you love, and they dismissed it without hesitation, would you try harder, or would you start pulling back?" Because in that moment, I chose to try harder. And that decision changed everything that followed. I asked her what she wanted instead. She didn't hesitate. St. Barth's. Of course. Sun instead of snow. Beaches instead of mountains. But it wasn't just the destination. It was the tone. The expectation that I would adjust. That I would accommodate. That I would fix what she believed I got wrong. So I did. I canceled Aspen. Lost a non-refundable deposit. Rebooked everything within 48 hours. Upgraded the flights. Secured a villa overlooking the ocean. Arranged private dinners. Every detail sharper. More expensive. More precise. When I handed her the new itinerary, she smiled. And for a moment, I thought I had done the right thing. But something about that smile felt transactional. Like approval, not appreciation. And I ignored that feeling. Because ignoring things had become easier than confronting them. The trip itself was beautiful. The kind of beautiful that people post online. Clear water, white sand, sunsets that looked unreal. But beneath it, something was off. Sloan was present, but not with me. She spent more time on her phone than she did talking. More time adjusting photos than enjoying the moment. At dinners, she would drift into conversations about people I didn't know. Events I wasn't invited to. Worlds I wasn't fully part of. And I started noticing something I hadn't wanted to see before. She wasn't unhappy. She just wasn't invested. There's a difference. One hurts more than the other. The midpoint came quietly. Not during an argument. Not during a dramatic moment. But during a dinner on the third night. We were sitting across from each other. Ocean behind her. Candlelight reflecting in her glass. And she said something that shifted everything. "I think you're trying too hard, Carter." I paused. Trying too hard to do what? To be enough. It landed heavier than anything else she had said before. Because it wasn't loud. It wasn't aggressive. It was honest. And honesty, when it's inconvenient, has a way of cutting deeper than anger ever could. I asked her what she meant. She took a sip of her drink before answering. I don't need all of this. She gestured around us. The trips, the planning, the effort. Then what do you need? She hesitated. And that hesitation told me more than any answer could have. I don't know, she finally said. That was the moment the power dynamic shifted. Not because she took control, but because I realized I had been operating under an assumption that no longer existed. I thought I was building something. She wasn't even sure she wanted it. The rest of the trip felt different after that. I stopped overcompensating, stopped adjusting, stopped anticipating. And for the first time, I started observing, really observing, the way she responded to attention from others, the way she lit up in conversations that didn't include me, the way she treated my presence as optional. When we got back to Greenwich, things didn't explode. They settled, quietly. Distance replaced tension. Politeness replaced connection. And one night, sitting in that same kitchen where she had pushed the tickets back, I made a decision. I didn't announce it. I didn't dramatize it. I just stopped trying to convince her to stay. A week later, she noticed. "Are you okay?" she asked. "Yes. You've been different." "I know." She waited for more. There wasn't any. That's when something unexpected happened. She leaned in. Not physically, emotionally, subtly, like she was trying to regain something she hadn't realized she was losing. But by then, something had already shifted inside me. Not anger, not resentment, clarity. Before we finish this, think about this moment. If someone only starts valuing you when you stop trying, is that real connection or just control slipping away? Because that question was the only thing on my mind when she finally said it. "I think we should try again." Try again. As if we had both failed equally. As if effort had been the issue. I looked at her, really looked at her. And for the first time, I wasn't trying to fix anything. "I don't think we were trying the same thing to begin with," I said. She didn't respond immediately. And that silence felt different this time. Not dismissive. Uncertain. We didn't break up dramatically. No shouting. No scenes. Just a conversation that ended with mutual understanding. And separate lives. A month later, I received a message from her. Short. Polite. "Hope you're doing well." I didn't respond right away. Not out of spite. Just because I didn't feel the need to. And that, more than anything, told me I had finally understood something I should have recognized much earlier. Effort doesn't create value where it isn't already recognized. And love doesn't grow stronger when it's constantly negotiated. It grows when it's naturally returned.